3. All right, Dungeon Crawlers, we are still here at Teen Author Bootcamp. We are here with Tom Durham. He's been on the show before talking about his movie 95ers, but he's more importantly, he's here teaching teens how to write and do stuff and stay off of social media because that's important.
That's right. So one thing I discovered when I made my first film, 95ers, was that it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to do a major creative project, whether it's a novel or a movie or what have you. And so one of the big epidemics that we're having in our world today is the epidemic of distraction.
Yeah.
And so along with, I'm a father of 4. I have a 2-hour commute. I am an extremely busy guy, but I still have very passionate creative aspirations. And so one thing I've had to do is I've had to learn how to be really productive with the limited amount of time I have. And so I've become kind of a disciple of Darren Hardy, who's a big productivity expert, and reading these self-help books and whatever. And it may sound silly, but you got to do it. Mm-hmm. And teens, even more than adults, are bombarded by distractions. The average teen gets 6 text messages an hour. Okay?
Oh, wow.
And so they're distracted every 10 minutes, but it actually takes the human brain 11 minutes to refocus, which means that they are constantly in a state of distraction. Okay. So their performance is always lower than it could be. And so what I want to teach here at Teen Author Bootcamp is how you can break that cycle of constantly being distracted, because everybody has something important to say. Mm-hmm. Especially these teens that are so passionate to be here. They want to write books, but they won't be able to do it because they are constantly being bombarded. And so anyway, we had a fun discussion today about all that kind of stuff and giving them some tips and tools on how to stay focused on their stuff. And so I was able to have a handful of them actually delete their social media apps off their smartphones.
Wow.
In the class. And so I thought that was a big triumph. So those kids who did that are going to be our next bestsellers. So we'll see. We'll see.
So what are some other distractions besides social media to prevent you from writing? Because, even myself, when I go to sit down and write, there's the family, there's phone calls, there's other business things that come up that you have to deal with. So how do you kind of get rid of those distractions then?
Okay, well, so some of the tips that I gave the kids about avoiding these distractions were, number one, you just take a piece of paper and you draw a line. Okay. On the left side of that, you write the things that are most important to you in your life. Okay. And on the right side of that line, you write down what you actually do. And you'll probably discover that a lot of the stuff that you do has nothing to do with the stuff on the left side of your line. And those things are distractions. And so if every morning you just review that, just the awareness, that's the biggest tool. Number one is the awareness. If you look at that line and you're like, I'm doing all this stuff, it has nothing to do with what I actually care about, just stop doing it. Or at least be aware, oh my gosh, this is a distraction. I'm watching this funny YouTube video. I'm watching this TV show that I really love, but it's really not matching up with anything on the left side of that line. I know it's a distraction. So number one, awareness. Number two, build a space-time fortress. Okay. Which is a place in time and in space where you've told everybody this is to be guarded. And you tell people, and they'll, for the most part, respect it. You turn your phone off. Don't just put it on silent. Turn it off. And you know that there's this bubble that you have that you've told everybody can be respected. For me, it's from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Okay? Because no one can distract me. Even if the little kid needs something. I never want my kids to feel like my dad was always more interested in his movies and his books than me. And I want him to think that. So I just get up a little earlier, and that's where my space-time bubble is. And then think in terms of sprints, because when we look at a big project like a book or a movie, we think, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. I'm always getting distracted. I'm never going to finish this, and we give up. And what I told you in the other interview, the reason why people don't finish their creative projects is not because they're not good or their story doesn't rock or because the agent didn't want it or because the distributor didn't want it. It's because they didn't finish it. That's why. Yeah. But if you go in sprints, 60 to 90 minute sprints of this space-time thing that you're guarding, if you do that consistently, you will finish. You absolutely will finish. And people in the end will respect that. So there's just a few tips. There's a million other tips, but being aware, creating that little bubble, going in sprints. Those are a good place to start.
Nice. I've already found out something I'm going to do now. Awesome. Okay. Yes. I love writing. I like to do that, but there are those distractions. So I will build my space-time bubble. That actually sounds awesome. That's like a really cool name. So what else? What other projects are you working on? Because 95er's been out there for a while. It's been doing pretty good.
Yeah. So we just got our deal for Latin America, which is great. So it'll be distributed in Espanol and I guess Portuguese throughout Latin America soon this year. Germany just released it on Blu-ray, which is exciting.
Wow.
And so for an indie film, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah,
You know
that's pretty
that it's getting out there. So it's pretty much available almost everywhere in the world now. So that's exciting. And so I learned a lot of these lessons through the pain and agony of making an independent film the wrong way.
Okay.
And so now I'm applying these lessons to my new projects. And so the project that I have right now is a new film called Pixie Perfect.
Okay.
This is a family-friendly fantasy comedy about the pixies who live next door. It's about the misadventures of a part-time tooth fairy.
Okay.
And so that'll be a lot of fun. And we're hopefully going into production on that this fall, if all the funding stuff goes well. And then my first novel, fantasy novel, is called The Return of Magic. And if all goes well, that'll be coming out next year, along with the movie. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Cool.
And so on my website, tomdurham.com, you can check in and just see what the current projects are. But those are the big projects, and hopefully by applying some of these skills I'm teaching the teens here, they'll actually get done a lot quicker than my last film. So.
Now, where can they find the film, the 95ers?
So 95ers, pretty much anywhere. But you can go to 95ers.com, 95ers.com, and you can, regardless of where you are, you can order the movie there. Or go to Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. It was in Walmart for a while. If you're in other countries, they have their own sites, and those are linked on my site. Or on Vimeo Pro, you can find it there as well. So just kind of wherever, but you can just Google 95ers, 95ERS, and you can find it wherever.
Cool. All right, so for those of you that have any type of project, whether it's making a movie, writing a book, building crafts, you now have your time space bubble to create whatever that is you're passionate about. And wear an awesome, amazing shirt like this one. It will create the creativity bubble. No, just kidding.
This distracts other people, but not me. This focuses.
Yeah, it focuses. Awesome. So thanks again for coming on the show. We love having you on. Let us know when the other projects come up. We'd love to have you back on talking about those as well. Tom Durham, and we'll catch you next time.